Resulted from our Traffic Safety Culture Pooled Fund, the Transportation Pooled Fund program. We have finished our first phase of 5 federal fiscal years, 2015 to 2019, and we're entering our second phase, federal fiscal year 20 to 24. This project resulted from the first phase. MDT leads this pooled fund, and I am Sue Sillick at the Montana Department of Transportation, and I am the project manager for the pooled fund. The purpose is really to understand traffic safety culture so that we can implement various tools and services to further improve traffic safety. I've copied the 2 pooled fund URLs as well as our project URL right here. This presentation and the presentation on the project will be posted along with the video recording to our project page, and all the registrants will receive a notice as to when that's posted. We are still seeking partners for our second phase that started October 1st. With the first phase, we have completed 10 projects. Some of them are listed here. This is the Proactive Traffic Safety, Empowering Behaviors to Reach Our Shared Vision of Zero Deaths and Serious Injuries is the presentation you're going to hear today. Last week, we had a presentation on key information for effective DUIC policy, and that webinar video recording and presentations are posted to the project page. We have an upcoming webinar on December 3rd for our Traffic Safety Culture Primer, and I've copied the registration link right here. And then these last 2 projects are complete, the 10 that were completed in the first phase. We do still have 3 projects that are active, and they are listed here. You can find out more information about these projects on the website that I listed earlier, the MDT project page. Just wanted to give you a few benefits of joining, as we are still looking for partners for the second phase, TPF 5, Parent 444. Leveraging your funds, improving traffic safety, networking, having a seat at the table. There's so many benefits to joining. The more funds we can put towards the pooled fund, the more projects we can do. So again, this is the link to the pooled fund of the new pooled fund phase 2. Join us and help set the goals. At this point, I am going to turn it over to Kari Finley, Dr. Kari Finley, who will present on proactive traffic safety.
Hello, everyone. Do you see my PowerPoint, Kelly?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. Hi, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I am a senior research scientist at the Center for Health and Safety Culture, and we're going to talk about a project that's sponsored by the Traffic Safety Culture Pooled Fund called Proactive Traffic Safety, Empowering Behaviors to Reach Our Shared Vision of Zero Deaths and Serious Injuries. Previous research that was sponsored by the Traffic Safety Culture Pooled Fund to understand traffic safety citizenship revealed that there were a lot of different opportunities that we could use and do to bolster proactive traffic safety to reduce traffic crashes and fatalities. However, in order for state highway safety agencies and stakeholders to really embrace proactive traffic safety, the information that we learned from that research really needed to be translated into practice. And that was the focus of this project. It was to create communication tools that could be used to really communicate and integrate proactive traffic safety into the existing traffic safety efforts that you're already doing in your states and in your communities. So just a quick note about WebEx. This webinar is being recorded, and it will be available on the YouTube channel and on the Montana Department of Transportation's website. You can join the audio either by phone or by computer, and you click on that phone icon at the bottom to connect your audio. We'll also be using the question and answer box. If you have any questions that come up for you during the presentation, please feel free to add those into the Q&A box. And Kelly, my colleague, and Sue, they're on the phone. They can monitor that chat box and communication question and answer box as well. My colleagues and I are research scientists at the Center for Health and Safety Culture within Montana State University. And the Center for Health and Safety Culture is an interdisciplinary center, and we conduct research on how culture impacts health and safety. We do all of our research in partnership with communities, states, tribal, and national organizations who are seeking to improve health and safety. All of our research is applied, and it's done in partnerships with people who are trying to make a difference. Our work at the center predominantly focuses on traffic safety, substance misuse, violence, and child well-being. And together, these issues have a profound impact on public health. They really are the leading causes of potential life loss, and they overlap. So we know that the misuse of substances has a profound impact on traffic safety, and likewise, violence and child maltreatment are impacted by substances. And all of these are interconnected. And working in these domains is really insightful for us because our big picture goal is to step back and look at an overall approach that transcends any of these given issues. So like I mentioned, this project is sponsored by the Traffic Safety Culture Pooled Fund, and this is a cooperative effort of participating state DOTs and other both traditional and non-traditional organizations that have a vested interest in traffic safety. And before we get into the specific communication tools that we created to communicate and integrate proactive traffic safety, I thought I would start with just a background and an overview of what proactive traffic safety really is. So we know that, I mean, just in 2017, there were over 30,000 or 37,000 people who died in motor vehicle crashes in the United States. The people who lost their lives were, represent someone's parents, sibling, their coworker or spouse or friend. And the loss of even one person on our roadways is unacceptable. The only acceptable traffic safety goal is to reduce our fatalities and serious injuries to zero. And while there have been significant improvements in traffic safety through strategies like engineering and education and enforcement, our shared vision of zero deaths on our nation's roadways has not been fully realized. There's more work to be done to improve traffic safety. We know that a significant factor contributing to motor vehicle crashes is the driver's behavior. To improve traffic safety, we have to focus on strategies that influence risky driver behaviors. Risky driver behaviors include deliberate behaviors. Deliberate behaviors are those that we choose to commit, like speeding or texting while driving or not wearing a seatbelt. These deliberate, risky behaviors can be changed. Motor vehicle crashes and serious injuries are preventable, and our efforts must focus on changing behavior. Specifically, we want to focus on creating the conditions that increase safer, deliberate behaviors. Now, the good news is that the majority of road users already engage in safe behaviors. We know that, most people wear a seatbelt. Most people don't drive within 2 hours of drinking alcohol or using cannabis. And most people don't speed. A positive traffic safety culture already exists. Yet we know that not wearing a seatbelt and impaired driving and speeding are leading risky behaviors associated with fatalities and serious injury crashes, even though they're a small portion of the population that engages in these behaviors. They're high risk. The question that we want to start asking ourselves is, how do we leverage this large group of people already engaging in safe road user behaviors to influence the smaller group engaging in risky road user behaviors? And one way to leverage that positive road safety culture that already exists to impact that small group engaging in risky behaviors is to grow proactive traffic safety. So when we started thinking about proactive traffic safety, and more specifically through our lens of traffic safety culture, we started to think about the roadway transportation system as a shared community. Now, it's really common when you think about a community to think about, the community that you live in or your town or your city. But the word community is more than that. And when we started to think about the roadway transportation system as a shared community, we started thinking about, what does it really mean to be a community? What does it mean to be a member of a shared community? The roadway transportation system is a shared community that consists of various users. It has drivers and passengers, cyclists, pedestrians, and others. And this system, this roadway system, is designed and maintained and managed by various stakeholders, including, departments of transportation, transportation engineers, maintenance districts, elected officials, policymakers, law enforcement officers, and traffic safety leaders. Even if we don't drive, we're a member of this roadway transportation system, of this community. Each of us is a member of the community because we depend on this shared system to connect us with people and places and goods and services. And as we started to think about the roadway transportation system as a community, we started to think about what it means to be a member of that community. And it led us on a path of thinking about our obligation to one another. For this community, for this roadway system community, to meet everyone's needs and to be sustained, we have an obligation to one another to act in ways that support the system. Our obligation as members of the roadway system goes beyond complying with, the laws of our roads. We realize that obligation is more than compliance. At a basic level, individuals can meet the obligation we have as members of this roadway transportation system by complying with the existing laws and regulations that we have. But mere compliance with existing laws and regulations fails us because there's more to it than that. If we believe our obligation as members of this shared transportation system only means compliance, then we're missing something. And if you think about our system, there are many situations that occur that are potentially unsafe, but that aren't explicitly unlawful. If we think compliance is our obligation, then we accept the status quo that, that over 30,000 people are killed every year on our roadways. We would think that it's a consequence of our current system. But compliance is important, but there's more to it than that. We have to move beyond compliance. And when we move beyond compliance, we really move to commitment. To achieve higher levels of safety, individuals need to go beyond compliance to commitment, a commitment to safety for themselves and for others. Defining the roadway transportation system as a shared community, we're able to see things from a new perspective and to start to think about what makes a community thrive. We realize that our obligations as members of this community go beyond complying with the laws of our roads to a commitment to safety. And keep in mind that the word safety means a state of being safe. It's freedom from the occurrence of risk or injury, and it's the actions of keeping safe. So a commitment to safety means committing to avoid risk as well as committing to taking actions that can keep us safe. Committing to avoiding risk might look like choosing not to engage in a potentially risky behavior like talking on a cell phone, even if it's hands-free. Even though such a behavior might not be explicitly in violation of a current law, that would be an example of committing to avoiding a risky behavior. Further, if we commit to taking actions to keep safe, that might look like something like advocating for a new law or a new policy that promote safety, or it might look like engaging others to make the transportation system safer. This commitment to safety can be demonstrated by engaging in proactive traffic safety. Proactive traffic safety is the proactive behaviors demonstrating commitment to a safe roadway transportation system. These proactive behaviors demonstrate a commitment to safety beyond oneself to include the safety of the broader transportation system. So the word proactive is defined as acting in anticipation of future problems, needs, or changes, and serving to prepare for, intervene in, or control an expected occurrence or situation, especially a negative or difficult one. Proactive traffic safety includes behaviors that result in the transportation system being safe. Being proactive goes beyond that compliance with laws or regulations, to act in anticipation of potential risks. In other words, these behaviors extend beyond our own safety to include the safety of others. When one is committed to safety, we act in ways that both increase our own safety and increase the safety of others. So there are many different examples of proactive traffic safety behaviors that result in the transportation system being safer. For example, supporting existing traffic safety efforts, or staying informed of safety-related issues, or planning a safe way to get home before drinking alcohol. These proactive behaviors both increase our own safety and the safety of others. Other examples are things like speaking up about people's, when you see an unsafe behavior like not wearing a seatbelt or driving distracted. Establishing a family rule about safety, like we always wear a seatbelt, or we never text while driving, or we don't ride with someone who's been drinking alcohol. And establishing workplace policies, like always wearing a seatbelt in a company vehicle. These examples are examples of proactive traffic safety that go beyond compliance to demonstrate commitment to a safer transportation system. Growing proactive traffic safety creates this shared commitment to safety. It encourages proactive behaviors that support safety efforts. It encourages behaviors that extend beyond my own safety to support the safety of others. It expands the focus to include that large group of safe road users as a way to influence that small group engaging in risky behaviors. And it enhances our existing strategic highway safety planning efforts. We will not achieve our goals of 0 deaths and serious injuries on our roadways by merely being compliant as a member of this community. We want to seek commitment to grow a safe transportation community. We need to grow proactive traffic safety to achieve and maintain our 0 deaths goals. There is a strong research foundation for proactive traffic safety. Growing proactive traffic safety is an opportunity for traffic safety professionals and stakeholders to create lasting and sustainable improvements in our traffic safety efforts. A proactive traffic, so now I want to talk briefly about the tools. So that was just the foundation about just really what proactive traffic safety is. And we've done some other webinars on traffic safety citizenship and discussing the concept and foundation for traffic safety citizenship and proactive traffic safety. And those are on Montana Department of Transportation's website. And now I want to flip to really this project's focus, which is to create tools. Our focus for this project was to translate what we learned in the research to create communication tools that could be easily implemented and integrated into your existing traffic safety efforts. So we created for this project 4 tools. We created a proactive traffic safety primer, a PowerPoint presentation, a conversation guide, and a proactive traffic safety poster. And I'm going to briefly talk about each of these tools, and they can all be found on the Montana Department of Transportation's website. They're easy for you to download and use in your efforts in your communities and in your states. So the first tool that I want to talk about is the Proactive Traffic Safety Primer. And this is a 31-page document that provides the foundation. It provides a really strong foundation for understanding and integrating proactive traffic safety into your existing efforts. This document includes information about, building the capacity of your stakeholders to understand what proactive traffic safety is. It talks about its role in improving traffic safety and how to grow it, how to grow proactive traffic safety. And I'm really excited about this tool because I think it provides that foundation that's needed so that people can see how proactive traffic safety can be integrated into the work that you're already doing. So the first, there's 4 sections in the primer, and the first section really just talks about the shared problems that we face in traffic safety, and it introduces proactive traffic safety as a way to help address those common challenges. The second section really talks about, defines proactive traffic safety, and it explains why growing proactive traffic safety can help us to achieve our collective traffic safety goals. This section also establishes where the concept originated, and it highlights a research study that really looked at proactive traffic safety behaviors in traffic safety. The third section shows proactive traffic safety in action. It gives examples of how it's being integrated into existing traffic safety efforts. And these examples are included to show you how it can be used in your existing traffic safety efforts. We provided 3 different ways, 3 different examples to allow you to see proactive traffic safety integrated into the work that you're already doing. And then finally, section 4 includes tips and tools to help you grow proactive traffic safety. This section really focuses on 6 different tips that you can use to grow proactive traffic safety. So one tip, for example, in this section is to think about your work in terms of allies and partners. Growing proactive traffic safety really requires both allies and partners. Allies are those people that can champion your effort and connect you to other social networks and connections that you need to grow proactive traffic safety. Partners are those that will participate with you and help you to move proactive traffic safety forward in your work. In this discussion of allies and partners, there are also reflection questions and considerations that can help you to think about your own allies and your own partners and to explore potentially new partnerships. This section really focuses on growing proactive traffic safety and integrating those efforts. This primer provides that strong foundation to get you started. Another tool that we created was a PowerPoint presentation. And the Proactive Traffic Safety PowerPoint presentation is a ready-to-use PowerPoint that includes the slides and the content that you need to introduce proactive traffic safety to other people. Really, we developed this PowerPoint, if you think about your audience, we developed this presentation so that you could use it with other professionals, with your stakeholders, and in your community. And this PowerPoint presentation includes, a brief overview of traffic safety. It introduces proactive traffic safety and why it's important. It gives simple examples of what proactive traffic safety behaviors look like, supporting existing efforts and staying informed of safety-related issues and planning safe ways to get home before drinking alcohol, just to name a couple. And the PowerPoint presentation includes reflection questions that you can use, that you can propose to your audience to help them start to think about this content and how it's relevant to the work they're doing and how it could be applied. And so I'm excited that you have this PowerPoint. It's ready to use and it includes all the information that you need to take it out into the work, to the people that you're working with and with your stakeholders or in your community. The third tool that we created for this project was a conversation guide. And the conversation guide was really created to help you to engage others in a conversation about proactive traffic safety. It provides really specific discussion questions that can help you to have a shared understanding and to promote dialogue about it, and also to consider actions that you could take to grow this idea and to grow proactive safety and to grow it in your existing efforts. This conversation guide can easily be adapted to your group and is just another tool that you have that's readily accessible and easy to use. And the fourth tool that we created, the final tool, we created 2 proactive traffic safety posters that can be used in meetings and at conferences. These posters are large display posters, and they're to really help you disseminate information about proactive traffic safety in something like a poster session. The content of the poster is a really condensed version of all of the things you kind of want to tell a person when you're introducing this topic. So it, talks about what proactive traffic safety is and why it's important and what it looks like, and then provides some examples and tips and guidance for how proactive traffic safety can be integrated. Now, we created 2 versions of this poster. This is the first version, and it has a lot of background pictures, but we also thought it might be helpful to have a poster that didn't have all of those background pictures. And so here is the poster version without the background pictures. Both of the posters are available on the Montana Department of Transportation's website, can be easily retrieved there. Given that the only acceptable traffic safety goal is to reduce fatalities and serious injuries to 0, we want to continue to evolve and seek innovative ways to reduce risky driving behaviors and increase safer behaviors. Growing proactive traffic safety cultivates a traffic safety culture where people commit to a safer transportation system. It helps us to leverage that large group of safe road users who are already engaging in the safe behaviors that we want to see, and helps us to influence that smaller group of people who are engaging in risky behaviors. The focus of this project was really to take what we know about proactive traffic safety and create meaningful tools that you could use to understand proactive traffic safety and engage others in conversations about it, and then to talk and think through ways that you could integrate proactive traffic safety into your existing efforts. The 4 tools, the primer, the PowerPoint, the conversation guide, and the poster can be easily accessed if you go to Montana Department of Transportation's website. And if we think about growing these proactive behaviors is really an opportunity to strategically address risky traffic behaviors and ultimately achieve and sustain our Towards Zero Death goals. And that concludes the presentation portion of our time today. I appreciate the time that you've spent with me. Please feel free to stay connected with us online or via any of our various social media links. And now I'm going to switch and review the comments and question and answers and see if I can answer any of those questions. And it looks like at this time there are no questions or answers in the question or answer box. Kelly, do you see any on your end? I'm just making sure that if you saw any in the chat window.
Yep, we had one question come through in chat, and it says, can the tools be personalized or do they remain with the Montana Department of Transportation information?
Oh, that is a good. Yep.
I'll just take that one. This is Sue at the Montana DOT. Everything we do, we put out there on our website, and you can certainly personalize it, take the information. Research was conducted with public funds, so take it and use it as you need. That's why we posted the PowerPoint presentation in addition to the PDF of the presentation, so that you could take it and adjust it as you need. So feel free.
Great, thank you, Sue. Kelly, were there any other questions?
Yes. Someone said, is there a way you could implement this philosophy into an existing TSE program?
I'm not sure what PSE is specifically, like what you're talking about there, but I have found, and we give examples in the primer of ways that you can take your existing strategic highway safety plan and look at ways to integrate proactive traffic safety. So absolutely, I think there are there are ways to integrate proactive traffic safety into all of your existing efforts. So absolutely, I'm not a PE program. I'm not sure what that is specifically, but I think you would find a lot of different examples in the primer that would help to see how we've taken this, taken proactive traffic safety and integrated it.
Okay, next question. Culture shift is so slow compared to other countermeasures. How do you sell this to a highway safety office?
Yeah, cultural transformation absolutely takes time. I think you are exactly right. But I also think that these are, when we look at proactive traffic safety, I don't think it's like doing a whole new thing. So it's taking what you're already doing and integrating integrating efforts that can bolster what you're already doing. So I think that would be one approach to say, hey, we're not integrating this new program or this into our traffic safety efforts, but we're really augmenting and building on the traffic safety efforts that we're already doing in our communities.
Okay, the next question is, posters seem to be wordy. Is there a way to get the messages across without using so many words? And then also, who is the target market for the posters? Those who work in traffic safety or the general public?
I think the target for the poster was specifically to do in a meeting or in like a poster session for traffic safety professionals. But I also think it could be, I think it would be interesting because it has all of the components of just the concept itself, examples of it and ways to move it forward. I think it could be used for a lot of different stakeholder groups, but the intent was to use it in a poster session with other professionals or stakeholders.
Okay, another question. How do we address speed using proactive safety behavior when the public would not believe messaging that most people don't speed? I'm thinking population level here, not individual level bystander engagement.
That's a great question. I think I'm thinking just off the top of my head, I'd love to give that more thought. But I think when you think about, like, if you're looking at the transportation system as a shared community, and we can move the dialogue to not just like I'm choosing not to speed for me, although that might, I'm hoping that's the case. But I also think looking at I'm choosing not to speed, because I have my kids in the back, or I'm choosing not to speed because I want to be safe for other people too. So looking at how we can potentially shift the conversation from this is an individual behavior that I can, decide or not decide to do, to more of a commitment to engaging in these safer behaviors for not only myself, but for others too. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time with me today. Have a great rest of your afternoon.